Welcome to the Learning Lab. My name is Roman Garcia. This is volume 10. Today what we're going to be discussing is something that has a little bit more practicality to your life, most likely. And what I mean by that is that what I'm going to be talking about today is exercises. And I'm going to be starting with one of the more fundamental exercises that's done in a gym environment, and that is the lateral raise. Now, there are many dimensions to a proper exercise program. There is frequency, there is intensity, and there is a how you do the exercise or technique. Now, what I'm going to show you today is what is the proper technique to a lateral raise. I'm going to show you in a little bit what a lateral raise is, but a lateral raise is a fundamental exercise that is a shoulder exercise that's performed in the gym. And anybody who sees this video who has gone into a gym has probably done a lateral raise. Now, there are two ways of doing a lateral raise: the correct way and the incorrect way. I'm going to show you both ways. But what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to show you something that I wrote here to help explain what I'm going to be showing you in a little time. Now, as I said before, there's two ways that you can do a lateral raise: the correct way or the incorrect way. The incorrect way, I describe that as a traditional way, the way that has always been taught in by personal trainers or in muscle magazines. This is the traditional way of doing lateral raises, which is the incorrect way. Now, if anybody has seen our prior videos, they have you have been exposed to the word entropy. Now, like I said, I'm going to be teaching you what a lateral raise is. Now, the traditional way, in my opinion, is the wrong way. Traditional way of doing a lateral raise is actually a high entropic way of doing the lateral raise. Now, anybody who has seen our prior videos has an idea what entropy means: heat generation. Now, to do the lateral raise in the traditional manner produces a lot of heat, so I describe it as high entropic lateral raise, which is not how you want to do it. High entropic exercises basically induce trauma, are trauma-inducing exercises. Sooner or later, if you do a lateral raise the traditional way, you're going to induce a trauma in your shoulder. It is inevitable. Now, what I'm going to show you is the correct way of doing it, what I call the contemporary method or the low entropy method. What this does, it promotes structural neutrality. And what I mean by that is, when you do the lateral raise in a contemporary manner, or the right way, when you do the exercises, all the stress, you're exposing all the stress to the soft tissue, to the muscle itself, which was in essence what you want to do with an exercise. So you produce very little heat inside the joint itself or to very vital regions of the tendon. So what I'm going to show you now is the correct way and the incorrect way, or the high entropic and low entropic way of doing a lateral raise. Alright, so if you allow me, I'm going to, with the assistance of the help of my assistant, Anna, I'm going to show you both ways. The incorrect way, the high entropic way, and the right way, the low entropic way. Alrighty, so if you see this video and you follow my recommendations, you'll be able to do the lateral raise with a very high probabilities of inducing absolutely no trauma to your shoulder. So if you allow me, let's come right over here. Again, this is my assistant Anna, and I'm going to show you both ways of doing the lateral raise, the correct and the incorrect way, or the high entropic incorrect way and the low entropic, the right way, the contemporary way. Now, I'm going to show you first the traditional manner of doing the lateral raises. This is how you've been accustomed to seeing it in media, in published magazines, or maybe even on television by a so-called expert. Now, the traditional way, or the high entropic way of doing the lateral raise, is like this. This is the way it's always been portrayed. So Anna, what you're going to do is, you're going to do a lateral raise with your palms down like this. And you're going to raise up to right here. So go ahead. Keep on doing it. Now look how she's doing it. This is pretty much the traditional way of doing the lateral raise. There's many ways you can do it. You can do it sitting, standing. You can do it in different angles. You can bend forward at the waist. There's many ways of doing it, but the traditional manner of doing the lateral raise is always with the palms down. Go ahead, do it again. Actually, like this. Do it like this. Again, like that. No, like this. Just like that. Exactly. Keep on doing it. All right, and let it out. Relax. This is the way that it's always been taught, the lateral raise. And obviously, everybody that does a lateral raise, they do it for purposes of stimulating or exercising the deltoid muscle. It's always been portrayed this way. I'm going to show you in a little while why you do not want to do the lateral raise the traditional way. Now, the contemporary way, the low entropic way of doing it is this, like this. And you stimulate the muscles exactly the same as you would the traditional manner, but what you don't do is you don't stress the rotator cuff tendon, and you don't stress the joint, the shoulder joint itself. Now, the rotator cuff tendon just runs right down through here. I'll show you on an x-ray how it transverses this area right over here. But the low entropic, the contemporary way of doing the lateral raise is this way. Just like this, your thumb up like that, and again, raise up. Remember, like that, perfect. Keep on. Now, observe what she's doing. Keep on. Look at the thumb, it's pointing up. Keep on doing it. The shoulder is in an external rotated position. Keep on doing it. It is not locked in. It has flexibility. Keep on doing it. Keep on doing it. This is the low entropic way of doing the lateral raises. It'll keep on doing it. It opens up this space right over here by which the tendon that runs underneath, keep on doing it, has plenty of space to contract, keep on doing it, to extend and to contract, keep on doing it. The stress when you're doing this, the lateral raise in this manner, keep on doing it. In this manner, the stress is all being exposed onto the muscle itself, which is where you want it. You do not want the stress to accumulate in the tendon nor in the shoulder joint itself. Keep on doing it. Keep on. This is the contemporary. This is the right way of doing the lateral raise. Keep on doing it. The thumb's pointing up. The shoulders in an external rotated position. Keep on doing it. The shoulder is basically unwound. Keep on doing it. So the surface itself has plenty of room. It has plenty of space. Keep on doing it. The spaces are not closed, and I'm going to show you on an x-ray what I mean by the spaces. Keep on doing it. One more time. Alrighty, perfect. Now you can relax. Thank you. And you can sit right over here. Now, we're going to come right over here now. This is, should we turn off the light? Now, this is an x-ray of the right shoulder. It's taken in two positions. It's taken in external rotation. This position is the low entropic. This is the contemporary position of the shoulder when you do the lateral raise with your thumb pointing up. Now observe this. This is the humeral head right over here. The rotator cuff tendon, a very vital tendon in the shoulder, runs right through here. And it attaches right here. When you do the lateral raise with your thumbs pointing up, the low entropic method, this space here is open. The shoulder is basically unwound. This is external rotation. Again, observe this position. Look at the position of this humeral head relative to this bone right over here. You've got space here. You've got plenty of space. This is where the tendon is running through. It's running right through here. So anytime that you raise this arm in the external rotated position, this tendon over here is not rubbing against this bone right over here. Now, observe the internal rotated picture here. This is the traditional method of doing the lateral raise. Look at the difference. Look at the humeral head. You see how it's raised up? You see how it actually rises up and it's making more contact with this bony protuberance right here, this bony structure right here. Observe the contemporary way of doing the lateral raise with your thumbs pointing up. Observe this traditional manner of doing it with the palms facing down. The humeral head, naturally, because of the surface itself and how it is structured, this humeral head rises up and it makes contact with this bone over here. So anytime that you raise this arm close to 90 degrees, this space here is being shut down. The tendon is running right through here. If you do this over multiple repetitions, I'm talking about thousands, eventually you're going to start eating away at the tendon tissue right here. You're going to develop a rotator cuff tear, because the traditional way of doing the lateral raise, the way that it's always been taught to us, is the wrong way of doing it, because they don't take into consideration the actual anatomy and the biomechanics of the shoulder itself. So when you're doing lateral raises, you have to start doing it with your thumbs pointing up. So this space here opens up. You're basically unwinding the shoulder. If you're doing it in a traditional manner, you're basically winding the shoulder shut, and you're closing down this space right over here. The tendon runs right through here. You do this a few thousand times, and I can guarantee you're going to develop shoulder problems. If you're lucky, you only get a rotator cuff tear. In worst case scenario, you'll develop arthritic changes, not only in the shoulder joint itself, but along on the bottom of this bone right over here, and maybe in the acromioclavicular joint. So it's a very dangerous way of doing a lateral raise if you're doing it the traditional way. Now, let me just turn on the light. Now, this is the interesting thing. For the reason that I did this video today, volume 10, on the lateral raise, is because when you go into a gym, the gym is an environment where you're supposed to stimulate health exercises. But the problem is that a lot of the traditional exercises that have been taught to us, either in magazine or in the media, they've always been done in the traditional manner. They haven't changed since the 1970s. These exercises have been created without consideration to the actual anatomy and the biomechanics of the joint itself. So what I'm going to be doing is, little by little, I'm going to be deconstructing these traditional exercises and showing you how to perform the same exercises, but with modifications to the technique that take into consideration the anatomy and the biomechanics of the exercise itself. So you do not damage the joint while you're doing an exercise that you think is healthy for you. And all the exercises that have been taught to us, they can all be manipulated. So you can take into consideration the normal anatomy of the joint and the muscles around the joint. So the exercise itself, you're stimulating the muscles and not the joints. So from here on, what I'm going to be doing is, the next few volumes, I'm going to be showing you correct ways of doing exercises. Now, an important component of understanding the exercises, whether they're right or wrong, is to always have this concept of entropy. You always want your exercises to have low entropy. You do not want heat being generated inside the joint themselves. You want the stress to accumulate on the muscle itself. So anybody that sees this video, I hope that you can take a lesson with you when you go into the gym. If you have any comment, if you have any recommendations on how to better do the lateral raises, feel free to express your opinions and just contact me by leaving me a note on the video. For anybody that's seeing this video, I want to thank you. Until next time.